My brothers and sisters, you are now watching The Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video.
Bruh, since last night, I have still been trying to process everything, everything that happened in that episode, bruh. Bro, that is not a mid-season premiere. If that is not the epitome of how to do a mid-season premiere of something, then Lord have mercy. I don't know what is, bro. That was freaking awesome, dude. Oh my god. that might have been the best mid-season premiere. Mid-season premiere that I could ever remember. I don't know what mid-season premiere was better than this. Some people were saying that this might be one of the best episodes in the entire series, and I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that, bro. While some suckers was out there trying to celebrate Happy Valentine's Day, nah, fam, we staying right here watching The Walking Dead, okay? That single life, but my god, man, that junk was so lit. I did not expect that. I really did not expect that episode to be like that. That junk went from 0 to 10 million real quick. Wow. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm not even gonna lie. I might miss some stuff because I wasn't even taking notes during the episode. I was like, freak that. I was like, freak all this. I cannot believe this junk is happening right now. So I didn't take. I just wrote down some notes, that I remembered when I woke up this morning. So if I missed something, hey, just forgive me, fam. There's too much. This episode was so lit that I might forget something. Alright, so I don't even know where to freaking start. Lord have mercy. And some people say that this show is boring and irrelevant and nothing exciting happens, that it's just a talking simulator like Firewatch. Suckers, y'all just don't watch the show, man. Walking Dead Season 6. We back. Episode 9, titled No Way Out. I guess if you look at, what the title of this episode is, it might have, led you to believe that the episode might be like this, No Way Out, but for a mid-season premiere, Lord have mercy. This jump was like a season finale, bruh. My God. Action-packed, fam. Anyways, so where did we leave off in the at the mid-season episode 8? We left off with I'm trying to process all this stuff, bro. We left off with Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha. They are like kind of at a standstill with some of Negan's men. That is not Negan on the bike. Some people actually thought that was Negan, because they were saying to me on a Twitter, bro, they was like saying, I thought you said that this guy was like supposed to be like a real threat. That was not Negan. That was some of his men. That's Negan's minions. Okay, so that was not Negan, just if you guys thought that was. So they're at a standstill with some of Negan's men. And they're pretty much saying, the guy on the bike is saying that they want everything that they have, and it looks like he might possibly kill Abraham and Sasha, because he's pointing the two guns at them. And I guess just before things get real bad. I don't even know what I don't even know what happened. When that junk happened, I was like, what the heck just happened? You just see, because I think it was like maybe, how much of them was it? I don't know, like 8 or 10 maybe. It was quite a few of the guys, you know, on a bike. It was quite a few of them. But all of a sudden, they all just blew up. I'm like, what the freak happened? You see this man, Daryl Dixon. I don't know whether apparently he got it in that episode when it was Abraham and Sasha. And yeah, I do remember him finding the RPG, I think, when it was like on like a little pole or something, and he grabbed it. But this man Daryl, because one of the men, he walked Daryl to like the back of the truck. So I'm still thinking, you know, that Daryl, you know, has his hands full. Nah, fam. This man Daryl Dixon pulls an RPG out of nowhere and just kills all of Negan's men, bro. I'm like, what is this, a freaking Grand Theft Auto cheat code? Freaking L1, R1, I got an RPG. Like, that joke just was like so random and unexpected. Blew all of the suckers up, bro. And that's why I'm thinking, because I've been saying this, bro. If you guys do not know, in the comics, Negan kills Glenn, right? Kills Glenn with his trusty bat, Lucille, you know. But that I've been saying to people, because you know how sometimes they will switch up the deaths in the TV series. I'm thinking Negan is gonna kill Daryl, bruh. I'm telling you, bruh, like, it might not be Glenn. Because Glenn's already had so many close calls. I don't know, for some reason, they won't touch Glenn. I don't know why, but I'm telling you right now, bro, do not be shocked if whenever this junk happens, Daryl might get off by Negan. Because he killed, like, freaking, I don't know how many of his men, bro. Daryl, bro, I don't know about you, fam. But yeah, so that's like what this episode starts off with. Daryl killing all of Negan's men, or just a good group of them. Now back to Rick and them, right? So remember, towards the ending of episode 8, Rick and company are back at Alexandria. The wall has fell over. Hundreds of walkers are now inside of this place. And they, have put the walker guts on them to try to, make their way through the crowd, So that's what they're still doing. It's Rick, Michonne, Carl, Jesse, Sam, and Ron. And they're all trying to make their way, through the herd of walkers, right? And they're doing good. At first, I blame Sam, fam. It all started with Sam, and it all just trickled down, bruh. Man, so they're making their way through the herd of walkers, right? And Rick is trying to keep all of them calm, and they're trying to come up with a plan. They're so they come up with the plan. I'm trying to freaking think of all of this junk, because I only wrote down like a little bit. So they're trying to come up with a plan, and they need to get Judith to safety. And Father Chicks, Father Gabriel of all people, he's saying to Rick, "I'll do it." And remember, just like us, Rick don't trust Gabriel, bro. Like, he ratted them out to what's the chick that died? Who's the He ratted them out to her, saying that this group, does not deserve a place like this and stuff like that. So a lot of us don't trust this sucker, which, we have a reason not to trust him. And Rick is the same way. He doesn't really trust this dude, but because they don't really have any other choice really, and he's saying, "Rick, don't worry, I'll do it." And he really looks like he means it. They got no choice. So Father Gabriel takes Judith, and and he's trying to get her to safety. Meanwhile, Rick and them, can execute this plan that they have. So they put a lot of trust in Gabriel in that moment, because I don't know if I would have did that. But again, they didn't really have too much options, So that happened. So Is Rick, Michonne, Carl, Jesse, Sam, and Ron. They're trying to make their way through the herd of walkers trying to execute this plan that they have. And Sam, he starts to look at the walkers, and I guess he, in his head, he starts to hear Carol's voice. So it was back at that scene to where Carol tried to scare Ron, saying that if she told that if he told that he saw Carol trying to steal weapons, that the monsters might get him, meaning the walkers. So her voice starts to play in his head, and he's looking at the walkers, and you can see this kid is having like a nervous breakdown. This kid is starting to freak out, so that happens, and then he just stops moving. He just stops moving, bro, and like people are just looking at him like, Sam, what's going on? Like, and like Rick, you know how Rick is. Sam, we need to. Sam, calm down. We got this, And Jesse is trying to calm Sam down. This kid is gone for whatever reason. This kid just starts to freak out. He is like terrified, so he starts to have a nervous breakdown. It is dangerous because they're in the middle of a freaking community of walkers, so it is essential to be as quiet as possible. So they're trying to calm this kid down. This kid is gone. Like this kid is like having a nervous breakdown. So the walkers eventually hear him, and they start feasting on they start feasting on Sam. And I personally knew this kid was not going to make it. Like, kids don't make it in this show. Lizzie, the kids just do not make it. I mean, we can go from the first season, the second season. Sophia, Lizzie, Mika, Sam, these suckers don't make it, bro. I'm sorry. If you are a kid in this show, aside from Carl, you are on a time limit. And this kid, Sam, he got it, bruh. So the walkers start to attack him. Of course, Jessie, she starts to lose it, which is understandable. So she starts crying and screaming. Walkers get her. I'm like, I just did not expect all this from this episode. Like, this episode, I was like, who's going to die next? I just did not expect all this. So then Jessie gets it. The walker starts to bite her, because she's making, this noise, and you can see that, that starts to get to Rick, because Rick, that was his side piece. That was Lori 2.0, So the walkers are now feasting on Sam and Jessie, and when they start to feast on Jessie, Jessie is still attached to Carl. I think they're still trying to hold. She's still holding Carl's hand. So while the walkers are feasting on her, like her and Carl are still attached. And for whatever reason, Carl just could not get through. I don't know if Jessie was trying to hold on to Carl and say, if I'm dying, you coming with me? But for some reason, her hand would not let go of Carl's hand. And, Rick sees this, and then he's just... As soon as I see him reach behind his back, I was like... So Rick reaches behind his back and brings out his hatchet. And he has no choice. He starts to, because like Carl cannot get free from her, he's just he just starts to hack off her arm, because it's the only way Carl can get free. He is not about to lose Carl, so he does that, and that was the only way that they got away. So when all that junk happened, I was like, my God, this junk, like, how can this junk get any worse? A few moments later, Lord have mercy. So when he hacks off Jesse's arm from Carl, And I thought it was going to happen in the last episode, you know, when Ron wasn't going to do what he did, but it happened in this episode. So I guess because, you know, Ron, you know, he, you know, now Jesse is gone. He, you know, he had just lost his dad, you know, and now Jesse and Sam. Ron was like, you know what? Ever since y'all suckers got here, why has my family been dropping like flies, fam? Nah, you got the game twist. So then he's pointing the gun at Carl, and I'm like, uh-oh. Now what's about to happen? Because this is the second time he's pointing the gun at Carl. So he's pointing the gun at Carl. You know, I guess because they already caused, you know, so much attention from the walkers. Michonne just like, freak this. And she just stabs, you know, Ron, you know, with her sword. And just before Ron hits the floor, the gun still goes off. But so much is going on, like I didn't think he hit anything, you know. But then eventually it pans over to Carl, and the way they shot that scene, like Carl was just like this, and he looked up, you seen blood, and Carl is about to be the next governor. This man Carl is going to be, bro, I don't know what Carl's going to turn into, bro, but this man is literally like a mini governor right now. So Ron shoots Carl's eye. So now Carl has one eye, bro, and he's like, Dad? And then Rick sees, you know, what went down with Carl, and then just before Carl, you know, falls down, like Rick, like, really understands what just happened, and he's like, and he starts crying, you know, because it's freaking Carl, dude. Like, man, when that junk happened, I was like, yo. But it's like, I mean, because Ron's dead now, you know, Rick doesn't really have no one, you know, to really take his anger out on, because Ron's dead. It literally started from Sam and trickled down all the way to freaking Carl. Junk was freaking crazy, son. So yeah, now you have the Governor 2.0 with Carl. Jesse's dead. She's getting feasted on. Sam is dead. Man, I'm still trying to process like all the junk that just went down, bro. I just did not expect all this from this episode, man. So yeah, after that, Denise is still with the wolf guy, as somehow this guy is like really persuading Denise to come with him, and it's just like, she's just like, all right. I don't know, but so Denise is still with the wolf guy, you know, and again, it's hard for them to escape because there's walkers everywhere, son. So like they're trying to wait it out, you know, as the walkers just drift off, you know, so they're trying to not get spotted. Once they decide to finally make a run for it, and they try to, you know, because I think they were going to the infirmary, because the wolf guy, he got, I get that thing that he had on his stomach. Apparently it wasn't a walker bite. It was I don't even remember, because that was like back in the previous episodes. But yeah, they're going to the the infirmary, and so when they decide to make a run for it, the dude gets bit. As soon as they decide to make a run for it, eventually the wolf guy gets bit, and he's just like, he's just like, you mean to tell me that you waited in that spot? Because they were in that spot, you know, for a good amount of scenes before they finally decided to make a run for it. And the second they decided to make a run for it, a couple of seconds later, this man gets bit on the arm. So I'm just like, well, you know, so that happens. Once the wolf guy gets bit, it's like he's kind of like, I don't know if he's like what's the point of even moving? It seems like once he gets bit, he just doesn't want to go on no more. But Denise, being, the good, person that she is, she's saying, don't worry, I can fix this. We just have to get to the infirmary. This is your chance to change, So she gives her little speech to him, and then they keep and then they keep on going forward, So they're going. Eventually, Carol. It's man, Carol, bro. If you are not in the group and Carol sees you, you are not safe as long as Morgan is not around. So, Carol eventually sees them, and I'm guessing that Carol thought that Denise was trying to run away from the wolf guy, not that they were together. So she sees this, and Carol starts to shoot the wolf guy. And I'm not, and I'm not even going to lie. The dude is bad. Like, he's killed some of, the people, but for some reason I just kind of thought that, he was going to change, for the better, because it kind of seemed like he wasn't all the way completely evil. You just had to really talk to him, but so once he gets shot by Carol, he like tries to, attract all of the walkers to him, and he tells Denise to keep on going, and then meanwhile the walkers get him. So I guess there won't be another chance for the wolf guy. He was always meant to die, because he was supposed to then died if Morgan was willing to kill people and not be this freaking I can't allow type of person. So that happens. Some scenes went down with Sasha, Tara, and Eugene, but to be honest, in an episode like this, they were completely irrelevant. I don't even remember, because again, I did not take notes when I was actually watching. I took notes this morning when I woke up, just wrote down whatever. They do have a scene with Carol and Morgan. Morgan tells Carol that I'm sorry for when I knocked you out. Of course, he didn't say those exact words, but he's sorry for pretty much knocking out Carol in the last episode, when she was trying to kill the wolf guy. And again, Morgan, I love him. I love his character. I think it's good that he's back in this, in the show, but this man better really have a different mindset real quick, bro. Because the way he looks at life right now, you're not making it, fam. Like, you better switch up. You better switch up really quick, man. So, that happens, and then Morgan says, "I know you had a daughter," meaning Sophia, and husband before, and then Carol's just like, I should have killed you when I had the chance, and then Morgan, just before he walks away, he's like, you can't. I'm just like, Morgan, take your mind somewhere else, bro. So that happens, my Lord Jesus. But yeah, so Father Gabriel, he does keep his promise. He gets Judith to safety. And by the way, with Judith, I don't know how many babies this show has switched out to be Judith, but they are getting new babies like every episode, bro. But he does keep his promise. He gets Judith to safety in a house with some of the other people from Alexandria. Back to Rick. So Rick, he has Carl in his arms, because Carl is like, he's not dead. Some people actually thought that Carl, is dead. He's not dead, but he just got freaking shot in the eye. He lost a lot of blood, and this is the second time Carl has been shot. If you remember all the way back in the second season when he was looking at the deer, and Otis shot Carl, well, he shot the deer, but it went through the deer into Carl, so this is the second time Carl has been shot, so Rick is trying to hold Carl in his arms. Rick is trying to keep, his cool. He walks inside the house where Denise is the only person, you know, that has, you know, some idea of what to do, you know. So Rick is trying to, you know, just stay cool and saying, please save my son, you know, but he's crying and stuff like that. So Denise, you know, she starts to get she gets to work on Carl. You know, Rick is crying, just trying not to lose it. But if you know Rick, every time something major happens, this dude loses it every time. I just didn't expect this man to do this. This man said, to hell with all this, bruh. We about to play Dead Rising 3. This man, Rick, once Carl is on the table and, you know, Denise starts to work on him, Rick goes into like that zone to where it's like you can see he's gone, and he's just about to snap, and he just takes out that hatchet again. And the way they shot that scene, it was so cool, because it's just like Rick he loses all sense of logic, and he's like, to heck with all of this. Freak us trying to run away from all of these thousands of walkers out there. I'm about to kill every sucker I see. So Rick, he takes out this hatchet, and the whole scene is shot in slow motion. He takes out the hatchet and he opens the door. You see all the walkers out there, and he just closes the door behind them. This, bro, Rick, my God, dude, just the transformation of his character. You can't really appreciate it if you haven't been watching who this guy has been since the first season. But this man, Rick, you know how much guts, you know how much balls of steel that Jug takes to just say, to heck with all this. There's thousands of walkers outside. I'm about to go out there myself. Close the door behind me. And he was just swiping at anything that moved, bro. If you mess with some of Rick's people, no sucker is safe, bro. This man turns into a killing machine. Yet when this man is in a one-on-one fight, it's like this man can't really hold his own. I don't get it, you know. But so that happens. Rick is outside taking on every walker he freaking sees. Michonne is like, Denise, I have to go out there and help Rick. He's out there, you know. But Denise is saying to Michonne to stay just, just until she's done with Carl. So it's a while before Michonne makes her way out there and starts to help out Rick. And then eventually, they all go out there. Carol, Morgan, Eugene, Sasha, Tara. I didn't even mention the scene with Glenn and Enid. Freak it. There's too much. It's literally so much that happened in this episode. But when Glenn and Enid gets there, Glenn's main focus is Maggie. You know how he and Maggie is, which I like Glenn and Maggie, but I don't know. I just feel like ever since Glenn really got with Maggie, his character is I don't know. I can't put a finger on it. I like them both. I like Glenn and Maggie, but I don't know. I just hate this lovey-dovey, because it's like they're really the only people that their relationship has almost been it hasn't really been put to the test. Real I don't know. It's just just stop being so lovey-dovey. I don't know. But so Glenn gets there. His main focus is, of course, Maggie. So he gets there. Maggie is on this freaking freaking beam thing, and she's just about to fall, because the walkers are really trying, to get to her. So that's about to fall over. Glenn tells Enid to go up there and help her. Meanwhile, Glenn is going to try to distract all of the walkers. So he just starts shooting all of the walkers. And there's so many walkers, bro. It looks like people just don't have a chance. So Glenn is shooting all of these walkers, right? Maggie is seeing this, and she's like, Glenn! She really starts to break down, because it looks like once again, Glenn has no shot. But yet again, somehow, some way, this man always makes it out. I don't know if they have some, secret, part in this contract to where Glenn is untouchable, but nah, fam. This man has had too many close calls, bruh. Too many. And it just happened. The dumpster whole thing just happened not too long ago. So it looked like Glenn is about to get it. These walkers are like in like this on him. Sasha and Abraham come out of nowhere, start freaking shooting all of the walkers. Glenn makes it once again. So Sasha, Abraham, and Daryl get there, and they just start killing all of the walkers. And like, there were so many walker kills in this freaking episode. It got to the point to where they were just showing scenes with everyone just killing walkers. It was just like Rick, Sasha, Daryl. It was like everyone was just out in the streets killing walkers. And eventually, I guess Daryl, he created this a fire, to really get the attention of the walkers. So a lot of the walkers start to go towards the fire. But there were so many freaking kills in this episode. My God, this episode was so action packed, dude. Like, if you want to look at, man, that was a way to get people like right back into The Walking Dead. But man, woo, yep. But so many walker kills. The morning after all of this stuff went down comes. Rick is inside of a room with Carl, as Carl has been worked on. He's still alive, his eye has been patched up. He literally looks like the governor right now. And Rick is just, by his side, and he has Carl's hand in his hand, and he's just, saying to Carl he's sorry for all of the stuff that just went down, and how he wants to show Carl the new world. Because even though all that stuff went down, Rick still is really optimistic, because after seeing the group out there side by side together, like working together, to get rid of all of these walkers, he truly believes that they can just rebuild and build back up the walls, and that if they were to work together the way they just did, that it'll be okay. So even all that stuff that went down, Rick is really optimistic, and he's just saying to Carl, just give me a chance to show you the new world, Coral, just give me a chance, Coral. So and when he says that, you can see Carl's hand starts to move, and then Carl grabs Rick's hand, and then that was the end of the episode. So, oh my God, dude. Listen, man. Bro, this episode was so fire, bro. And I say this to all of the people that think this show is boring. Does this show have some boring episodes? You bet. My God, I could not stand those Beth episodes in last season. My God, there are some slow episodes. Not every episode is going to be fire, right? But if you do not watch The Walking Dead, here's what I can tell you. This show is not about the zombies per se. It's not about the walkers. It's not about how many kills you're seeing in this show. I think what gravitates people towards this show is the characters, and it really has you thinking, like, how would I be in a world like this? Like, which person in this show would I be like? That's what's really good about this show. If you watch this show from the first season all the way up to today, you'll see why so many people are invested into this show. These characters have been through so much, and it's just like, man, I just like this. I love this show, man. And an episode like this just justifies why I love this show, man. Because when the action does come, my lord, dude. But yeah. So that's all I can say. That's all I can say about this episode. My God, so much stuff went down. I did not expect it to be that lit. Like, my God. But can't wait for the next episode. The next episode looks good too. It looks like it's going to be a Rick and Daryl episode for the most part. And my God, I just can't wait to see where this junk goes on from here, man. Wow. But saying that, what did you guys think about last night's episode of The Walking Dead? Leave it down in the comments below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in my next video, alright? Peace.